everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. Pope Francis elevated 14 bishops and archbishops from 11 different nations to the College of Cardinals June 28th at St. Peter's Basilica. The new cardinals are from Iraq, Spain, Italy, Poland, Pakistan, Portugal, Peru, Madagascar, Japan, Mexico, and Bolivia. During the ceremony, the Pope focused on their role as servant to those in need.
The consistory began with Patriarch Luis Rafael Sacco from Iraq addressing the Pope and those who had gathered in St. Peter's Basilica. On behalf of the 14 new cardinals, he recalled the martyrs who still died today because of their Christian faith.
Per quanto mi riguarda, ho colto anche la vostra speciale attenzione per le chiese orientali e per il piccolo gregge che costituiscono i cristiani in Medio Oriente, in Pakistan e in altri paesi che attraversano un periodo difficile a causa delle guerre e del settarismo e dove ci sono ancora martiri.
In his homily, Pope Francis said that the logics of power have no place in the Church of Christ.
Nessuno di noi deve sentirsi superiore ad alcuno. Nessuno di noi deve guardare gli altri dall'alto in basso. Possiamo, sì, possiamo guardare così una persona solo quando la aiutiamo a alzarsi.
The Pope recalled that the Church grows when it serves, when it goes out of itself to help others, when it's a missionary. He explained that when this dimension is lost, life is locked in a desperate search for one's own interests and securities.
E così cominciano a crescere il risentimento, la tristezza e il disgusto. A poco viene meno lo spazio per gli altri, per la comunità ecclesiale, per i poveri, per ascoltare la voce del Signore.
Then one by one, Pope Francis called them to give them the ring, the biretta, and the document assigned to them as an honorary title by a church in Rome.
With the new members, the College of Cardinals is now at 226 members, with 125 of them being cardinal electors. Pope Francis has now created almost half of the voting cardinals. In news from around the country, Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy has announced his retirement effective July 31st. Kennedy is one of 5 Catholic justices on the Supreme Court, along with Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Sonia Sotomayor. Kennedy, who turns 82 in July, is the second oldest member of the court after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is 85 years old. He is also the longest-serving justice currently on the court, appointed in 1988 by President Ronald Reagan. In recent years, he has been viewed as the swing vote. He has been known for conservative views, but has been less conservative on social issues, playing a key role in defending legalized abortion and conferring constitutional status on same-sex marriage. President Donald Trump said he would move quickly to nominate a replacement, saying he would review a list of candidates from the list he had to fill the seat now held by Justice Neil Gorsuch after the death of Justice Scalia. More news from the Vatican. At the general audience this past week, Pope Francis continued his new series of talks on the Ten Commandments by reflecting on how God always loves and generously gives first before asking for fidelity to his commandments. Rome Report says more on the Pope's words from St. Peter's Square.
Despite the strong wind, the Pope dedicated a few minutes to greeting pilgrims before addressing a complicated topic in his catechesis. The Holy Father recognized it's impossible to live a life of complete faith if one views the commandments as a list of oppressive rules.
Io devo fare questo, solo dovere, ma ti manca qualcosa. Qual è il fondamento di questo dovere?
To avoid this tense relationship with God, the Pope gave some advice. First, one must stop to reflect on the following.
In silenzio, ognuno di noi risponde: quante cose belle ha fatto Dio per me? Quante cose belle ha fatto Dio per me?
Once God's help in his or her life is recognized by everyone, Pope Francis recommended changing one's view of the commandments. They're demanding, but there's a reason, and God asks, but always after helping first.
Dio mai chiede senza dare prima. Mai. Primo salva, primo dà, poi chiede. Così è il nostro Padre di buono.
Pope is taking a break during the month of July from the general audience, so this was his last audience until August. And finally in the news, at a news conference this past week at the Baton Rouge Diocesan Catholic Life Center, Bishop Michael Duca pledged to Catholics of the diocese that he would give himself to them as their bishop and work to build the kingdom of God in this portion of South Louisiana. Bishop Duca, who has headed the Shreveport Diocese since 2008, was appointed by Pope Francis this past week to succeed Bishop Robin Munch, who is retiring after serving as the diocese shepherd since 2002. Bishop Duca said he was completely surprised by the appointment, and while he is sad to leave the good people of the Diocese of Shreveport, he immediately accepted the appointment without reservation, as he sees this as the will of God in his life, and by extension, the will of God in the life of the Diocese of Shreveport and Baton Rouge. The 66-year-old is a native of Dallas and will now become the 6th bishop of Baton Rouge. He will be installed August 24th in St. Joseph's Cathedral. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.